afternoon, and good evening to you. We're going to a tube. Hope you're all today feeling grand all buying your world. Welcome to another Q&A Wednesday, everybody. Let's get to it. Question 1 today. Does John Frusciante fingerpick the intro to Scar Tissue on the album? Also, when he plays a riff with a plectrum, is he muting the strings he doesn't want to hear, like in Can't Stop? Yes, to both. The original album version, it's all fingerpicked. You can. John's using his fingers. Actually, some of the early live versions you see of like 1999 versions of Scar Tissue, John actually does the intro with his fingers. Like that. So yeah, the original album, yeah, is on the album thing. He's using his fingers. He's not using a plectrum. But yeah, when he does use a plectrum, it is exactly like what you say. It's the Can't Stop thing. He's muting strings he doesn't want to hear. So, for instance, like if he, John, early days, like 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, up to Stadium Arcadium, would start Scar Tissue here. And then, like, Stadium Arcadium era, he'd start it here. Which is where the album version is. The live version's like here, the album version's here. But John would kind of flip between the two, different places of playing it, depending. And if John started the song here, he would end up here at some point. So it was kind of, it just kind of like how he felt at the time. But yeah, it is all finger picked, and the whole thing of, like, you know, of strumming all the strings, he is just killing the strings he doesn't want to hear. So if you're playing it down here, it's the D and the G strings. Go up to here, it's the A and the D string, and if it's here, it's the B and the G and the B, and then the D and the G. So yeah, that's what he's doing there. But he is finger picking on the album version, so to say. And like you say, you can hear it. Like there's notes that happen together at the same time, which isn't possible with a plectrum really. There's always that split-second delay. It's like Smoke on the Water. If you play Smoke on the Water with a plectrum, it's the notes are, there's like this millisecond between the notes, whereas if you play it with your fingers like Richie did, it gives it a fat sound. Same with Scar Tissue. Yeah, it's definitely just his finger. So yeah, I hope that's answered your question. Moving on to question 2 now. Okay, I just realised question 1 was probably the quickest I've ever answered a question in a Q&A Wednesday ever. Am I feeling okay? Take my temperature. Okay, so moving on to question 2. Have you ever tried a Fender Bassbreaker 15? If so, what did you think of it, and how would it compare to Orange CR120? I haven't tried a Bassbreaker, no. I would like to, but there isn't any around here that I can get my grubby little disgusting hands on. So maybe one day I'll definitely love to give one a go. I hear a lot of good things about them, and the demos I've heard of them, they sound really cool. So I'd really like to give one a go, but it's just a case of getting my hands on one and when that's possible and how to do it, so to say. So I can't afford to go out and buy one, and you know, I don't know anybody who's got one who could lend me it, and so I would love to give one a go. How it would compare to the CR120, I honestly don't know. I really don't at this point in time, not having actually played through one, only hearing demos. But the demos I've heard of a Bassbreaker, they sound immense. They sound really cool, really cool sounding amps. I like to say, and I say they've gone down a storm. They're an absolute hit, you know. But for my own personal experience with them, I haven't had any yet, so I can't honestly answer either way. But hopefully in the future, fingers crossed, I'll get my filthy, disgusting hands on a Bassbreaker, and we'll have a little demo of one, and we'll see how it goes. And yes, and I'll do a comparison to the CR120 and maybe the MG as well. See how it kind of like. Sorry about that, everyone. Somebody knocked at the front door. Had to run off quickly. Okay, so yeah, question 2. Have we tried a Bassbreaker? No, but hopefully in the future. Okay, so moving on to question 3 now. Is what's the best amp for around £100 for a John Frusciante tone? PV Bandit Red Stripe. for about 100 quid, you can pick up a red stripe for about 70, 80 quid. And using the, I just realised I no longer have mine. That's absolutely heartbreaking when I realise that it's not sat there anymore. Okay, but using the lead channel on the vintage setting with the gain down low, I really think it is like, it's one of the most awesome kind of John sound. And it reminds me of the early 1999, 2000, well, Californication era John tone. That's what the PV Bandit kind of does to me. It's not really a Stadium Arcadium or By the Way era tone. It's more about kind of crunchy, darker kind of sound that John had when he first came back to Shippers, which is my favourite John tone. So yeah, PV Bandit Red Stripe. Are there any others for around 100 quid? You can't really get hold of a Marshall MG for that, sadly. You might be able to get hold of a Marshall MG 100 DFX, the combo, the 100-watt combo. That might be an option, but people tend to sell them for a little bit more. But that's another one as well. The Marshall DFX combo is definitely another way to go as well. That does an amazing John tone as well. OD1, run the game low, you're in John heaven. But for around 100 quid, definitely them two. Or just the PV Bandit Red Stripe. The PV Bandit Red Stripe normally goes for really, really, really cheap. If you can find one. They're quite hard to find though, sadly. But if you can find one, get one. And that will do what you need it to do, definitely. Other than that, I say there's the Marshall MG100 DFX, excuse me, the older model, not the the FX or the CFX. Don't go for them. The older model, the DFX, especially one with a chrome grille cover, fan cover on the back. Are there any others? Can't think of any. No, but that would be my two recommendations, definitely, the Marshall and the PV. Especially the PV, because, well, the Marshall. Both as good as each other. If you get one, you can't go wrong. Anyway, my opinions. Yeah, I hope that's your question. Anyway, I'm going to move on to question 4 now. Cracking on today, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so question 4 today is, if you put an overdrive pedal in front of a clean amp, does the amp adopt the sound of a pedal, or does it still retain some of the amp sound? Basically, does it matter what amp you have, as long as if you're using an overdrive pedal? Right. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, no matter kind of what kind of pedal, as long as you're using a pedal, the amp will adopt the pedal sound. You know, it's just I would say that's just the way that is. But like for instance, this is the jackhammer. But this is the MG. So I would say the jackhammer is really tweaking that tone. It's more the jackhammer than it is the MG, because the MG sound, although it's really nice, it's quite, I've got it set up super clean and super kind of, you know, just ridiculously clean, whereas the jackhammer is just beefing it up. Yeah, it's just adding a bit more to it, but I don't think that's really, you know, I don't know, but yeah, I would definitely say, yeah, if you're using an overdrive pedal, it will colour your amp, but it will matter what amp you're running it into, because all different amps have amps? Is that a cross between like a ham amp? That's what that is. It's an amp made of ham. That's just really weird. Anyway, but yeah, all amps will respond differently to pedals. The way the CR120 responds to the jackhammer is totally different to the way the MG responds to the jackhammer. So it will matter what amp you have, definitely. If you plug if I was to plug this into a Fender, it would sound totally different to this. It wouldn't sound like that whatsoever. It would sound a little bit different. And if I was to run it into, if I was to switch between that and the CR120, it'd be different. So it does matter what amp you're running into, definitely, because that will change the response of a pedal. But does the amp retain its sound if you're running an overdrive pedal? Kind of depends on the pedal, but I would say it retains it. Your amp is like the bedrock of your sound, and then like if you put a pedal on top of it, it's just kind of sat on top. But because it is sat on top, it is more of a prominent sound than the one below it. But without this one, it doesn't work. So you can't have one without the other. So whether it definitely takes on more of the pedal's kind of tone, but you still need your amp to be set right in the first place for it to take that pedal the way you want to hear it, so to say. Because if I started kind of tweaking the treble on this, on the amp, and then put the jackhammer on, that's not for me. So I don't know, that was a totally irrelevant example there. I don't know what that was. Anyway, but yeah, it does matter what amp you have, but your amp will get coloured by the pedal. It's just the way it is. I mean, unless you're going straight into the amp, and then that's the only time I would say your sound isn't being slightly altered. Even if it's a true bypass pedal, it doesn't matter, because as soon as that pedal's on, that's colouring your sound. If it's off and it's true bypass, then yeah, cool, fair enough. But it's still got to go through the leads, depending, and if your pedal's true bypass and you've got a long lead from your amp to the pedal and then from the pedal to your guitar, that's going to be a longer lead than just plugging straight into the amp without the pedal. Does that make any sense? I don't know, that probably doesn't make any sense, but if you know what I mean, basically, even though it's true bypass, there's still something happening to the signal of your amp. It's never going to be 100% plug in and play sound, because the cable length will be longer, and if it's a long cable length, signal dies off. So it will darken down regardless. It doesn't matter if it's true bypass or not. But I suppose if you're using a buffer or a micro amp or something like that, you can boost that back up. But yeah, I mean, it does retain a little bit of the amp. Like I say, the amp is the bedrock of a thing, of the sound, and then pedals to kind of sit on top. But the amp needs to be set right for the pedals to sit on top properly. Otherwise, they'll just slide off and fall into a pit of tone oblivion. There's a new one for you. But yeah, I mean, it comes down to really kind of just what works for you, really. I always talk about that, but it really does come down to that. Like, I prefer the sound of the jackhammer to just for that kind of like clean, distorted kind of sound. For that sound, I love the sound of the jackhammer and the Tone City Golden Plexi more than I kind of love the sound of an amp doing it. I don't know why. It's just what works for me. I do love plugging straight into an amp and getting that kind of sound, but I prefer the sound of the jackhammer or the Golden Plexi. So. Yeah, be that for what it is, so to say. But yeah, I hope that's answered your question. Anyways, I'm going to move on to question 5 now. Yes, question 5. Okay, so question 5. Will you ever do a How to Play Like Jeff Buckley series? I don't know. I really don't know. As much as I love Jeff, I've never really looked that heavily into his style of playing, and his style of playing is very unique. And the Jeff Buckley from Grace is a different Jeff Buckley to what he did earlier. Like, Jeff Buckley was an amazing guitar player. Like, he could play pretty much anything. There's some footage of him playing like slide guitar solos and stuff like that, and it really is like, the man could play something rotten. And in Grace, he chose not to kind of do that. It's a lot more kind of rhythm-based stuff in his voice. There's not really any kind of guitar solos going on in Grace. There's the odd one here or there, kind of like little bits and pieces, but nothing major. But will there ever be a How to Play Like Jeff Buckley? I really don't know. I'd really have to think about that, because he's quite... I would just have to do kind of a lot of research on him, because Jeff likes to use strange chords, and Jeff always seems to be kind of one of those people who would never play the same thing twice, the same way, even though it was the same thing. There was always something slightly different about him. The way he played and the way he sang and the way he performed, there was always something slightly different. But I don't know. I don't want to say no, because I don't know myself. So I won't say no, but I won't say yes. If I know that's not really an answer, and I do apologise, but I don't want to say no, I'm never going to do it, because thinking about it, I've been asked a few times would I do anything on Jeff Buckley. Thinking about it for quite a while, I have thought it'd be really cool, but it's just a case of sitting down and really studying him, which is something I haven't done yet. I mean, I've learned his songs, but I haven't really studied his guitar playing and his techniques and certain things, this, that, and the other about him. So I can't say no, but I can't say yes. But you never know what the future holds. So I do have a series that I want to start really, really soon, but I'm not going to say anything about that. But it's not going to be about Jeff, but it's going to be about another guitarist who I really, really want to kind of talk about in the style of. So, and then I'm going to do some. I want to do some more Jimi Hendrix videos and John Frusciante videos and Roy Gallagher videos, and then this person who I'm going to start soon, hopefully. I want to do more videos of him. So that's going to take quite a lot of time to kind of get those up and running. But Jeff, I would like to do in the future, but whether it happens or not, I don't honestly know. I can't honestly say right now if that's going to happen or it's not going to happen. So all I can say is maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but definitely more towards maybe. But yeah, I would love to do something like that. Just delve into Jeff a bit. Ooh, that sounded wrong. Anyway, gone mad. Anyway, yeah. Okay, moving on to question 6, because my brain is not working today, everybody. And even my hands, it's really cold. It's just like, no. Okay, so yeah, question 6 now. Okay, so question 6 today is about mental health. Guy wrote, I enjoy playing guitar, but there's a part of me that says you're not good enough. You'll never be good at playing. And because of this, I lose the spark and don't play because I'm always judging myself. How do I overcome this? Right. I don't really know how to answer this one well, so I'll see what I can do. But I'm not sure there's a way to overcome it. There's just a way to get on with it. Like anything with mental health, it's a case of just kind of almost accepting it, but like, in a way, but not letting it rule you. If that makes any sense. Like, I know exactly what you mean by the whole thing of judging yourself and thinking you're not good enough, because I do that. And I'm sure a lot of people out there in YouTube land do that as well. You'll sit there one day and you'll play, and you'll have a particularly bad day on guitar when you just like pick up the guitar and you just go. It's like, well, I could play yesterday and now I'm flubbing every note west of Saturday. I don't know what that means. But yeah, you can have just a particularly bad day at playing guitar and it can send your mental state right off. And I understand that totally, because I've been there, still get there now. There are days when I'll pick a guitar and just like, oddly enough today being one of them, where you pick up a guitar and you're just literally like, I can't play. I am literally the most useless guitarist in the world, and what's the point? And I totally get that, but the way to get around it more than anything is, I don't know if there is, because you're always going to judge yourself. I judge myself every day, every minute my brain does something. And like I said, I'm sure everybody who has this god-awful thing, it does the same thing. You just kind of like, you just never feel good enough. I know exactly how you feel. I really do. I know exactly how you feel, because it's like the #1 issue with mental health is that kind of feeling of lack of self-worth. You just feel absolutely useless at everything you do. and you never feel like you're good enough and this, that, and the other. So I don't know if there's a way for you to kind of overcome I'm never going to be good enough, because I'm sure you can play. I'm sure you're a good player. So I think it's just a case of, if your brain says you're not good enough, play anyway. You know, my brain constantly tells me I'm not good enough, and like I say, I'm sure a lot of people out there have the same issue. But the fact of the matter is, I love playing guitar too much for that to get in my way. It's like, you know, I'm not having that. I am not having that anymore. I'm not having it kind of going, well, you're not good enough, so just pack it in. Just stop. You're no good. Because that's what it feels like sometimes. And it's just a case of going, you know what, now get out of the blooming way. I'm going to go and play my guitar, and I don't care. And the fact of the matter is, I don't think you should ever, ever, ever think that, like, you know, I'm never going to be good at guitar. It's like, you know, that really doesn't matter. It's about having fun with it. If you're good, bad, or really, you know, whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. And you need, you know, playing guitar and making music is all about, you know, the enjoyment you get out of it for yourself, as well as entertaining others if you're in a kind of gigging situation. But if you're just playing for yourself around the house, then play for yourself. You're not in competition. Music and guitar playing is not a competition. So what if somebody's better than you? It doesn't matter. I couldn't give a monkeys, and nobody should give a monkeys. If you're happy playing the way you play, then it doesn't matter. And the same thing goes kind of like, you know, with anything in music. Like, you know, music is not a competition. It's not about who's best. It's about, you know, expression and enjoyment, and just forgetting, just distancing yourself from, you know, things, and just escape. It's a form of escapism, I would say. Definitely music is. It just keeps you out of the horribleness of the world sometimes. Music can just be an escape for everyone. Everyone has music as an escape. Everyone has music as an escape. And how do you overcome your brain telling you you're not good enough to do it? I really don't know how, because I can't. That's one thing I with my mental health issue, that's one thing I can't overcome, is my brain telling me I'm not good enough. Because I'm with you. I'm with you on that boat. I feel the same. I don't feel like I'm good enough. I don't feel like I'm worth anything when I play guitar or make music. I'm constantly after reassurance of something that what I do is half decent, because I always feel it's just lapse. It's not good enough. And I think I think you can kind of take that in a good way or a bad way, because you can use it to push yourself and go, right, I'm not good enough, I'm going to get better. Or you can go the other way and say, well, I'm not good enough, I'm never going to be, and just lay down. So maybe that's one way of overcoming it. I mean, that's kind of what I do. It's like, I'm not good enough, so I'm going to really try harder. You know, I'm really going to push myself. And that's what happened after I left school. And as soon as I found the guitar, I was just literally like, right, I'm going to show everyone who told me I wasn't good enough that I can do something good, and I am worth something. So I know, to be that one, but I don't know if it's not overcoming it. You know, you can't just go, right, well, we're getting rid of that now and it's gone forever. It'll always be there, no matter what. You'll be playing guitar one day, you'll have a good spell, like a really positive period, and then you'll have a moment where you'll play really badly, and that'll be that, and you'll be back down. It'll push you back down. But you just got to pick yourself back up and, you know, just keep going. Basically, you just got to kind of like you're always going to have moments where you think you're not good enough, and this and the other. That's just the way it is. You know, there is no way of beating that. I don't think. It's just a way of coexisting with it. It's really naff. It's really, really rubbish. It really is. And in all fairness, if you think about it too much, it can get you down to a point where you think, literally, what is the point? You know, and you're always going to have those lapses. You know, that's always going to happen. You're always going to be kind of like, you know, what's the point? But there is every point. If you want to play guitar, play guitar. You know, really just stick at it. And I'm, you know, like I say, I'm sure you're a great player. You know, there's no bad players. And I get tired of people putting people down because, you know, oh, they're not good enough. Oh, you know, you're not very good, are you? Yeah, it's that and the other. If you can't say something constructive, don't say anything, because it's just ridiculous. Don't belittle people, because at the end of the day, if you're a really good technical guitar whiz kid guitar player, like, hey, look at me, I'm amazing, and there's a kid who's been playing for 2 years and is struggling with, say, Sweet Child of Mine, going on his video and having a go at him, saying, well, that's not good enough, is it? Your tone's bad, your technique's bad, this, that, and the other's bad, you know, you just can't play. That isn't going to achieve anything, because technical whiz kids were there at one point. And I feel that's why everyone forgets. Just because you're good now doesn't mean you were always good. You were always bad at one point, and you will always be bad, regardless of the day. You know, there'll be one day where you can't play. You know, but anyway, that's digressing into a different thing of, like, you know, music in a competition, and that's a different video in all itself. But like I said, I don't think there's a way really to overcome these feelings. It's just a case of picking yourself up and just forcing your way forward. And it's hard, and it's knackering, and it's just frustrating, and it gets on your nerves. But I really do think that's literally the only way you're going to get anywhere with it. It's just basically just kind of forcing your way through. It's like trying to walk through quicksand. You know, it's difficult, and you feel like you're just sinking all the time. But, you know, if you can just keep going, you know, you might get to, you know, you'll get to the other side. Not might get to the other side. Let's be positive, and you will get to the other side. You know, I don't. The judging yourself thing as well. I mean, I think judging yourself is not the baddest thing in the world to do. I think there's certain levels of judging yourself which is really bad. Like when it gets to the destructive point where you're like, you know, oh, forget it, I'm rubbish, I'm never going to bother, and you throw your guitar out the window. Maybe that's a big string, but you know what I mean. But yeah, judging yourself, yeah, that can be good, it can be bad, depending on how you're doing it. If you're judging yourself going, right, well, that isn't very good, that, you know, what I'm doing here isn't very good, I need to work on that, that's good. But if you're going, that wasn't very good, I'll forget it, I'm going, you know, that's bad. So you kind of want to look at it kind of like, just go, right, why is that not good? You know, judge yourself on what you're doing, not the fact of, like, you're rubbish, because you're not rubbish at all. Nah, you're not rubbish, you're not crap. There's nothing to do with it. Just look at your playing and take it apart and go, right, why is that not good, and what do I need to work on to get that better? You know, use the negativity in a positive way. If that makes any sense. I really hope it makes sense, but you need to kind of reverse it and just kind of keep pushing through. You know, eventually you kind of make a breakthrough where you're just literally like, you know, right, well, forget this, I'm just going to play my guitar, and I don't care how I feel or what my brain's telling me, I'm going to play, and that's just the way it is. Because you might find one day that you'll feel really worthless and down and you can't play, and you go and pick up the guitar and you'll start playing, and you'll get so lost in it, those thoughts disappear. That happens to me all the time, I'm sure it happens to other people out there. You just pick up a guitar and you just start playing. A certain sound might come on and you just... for hours. I mean, it's just something like that, and I hit a wrong note there, and my brain said immediately, you know, it starts that thing, but you go, no, pack it in, I'm going to keep going, I don't care. So I don't know if there's a way to stop it, but there's a way to coexist with it and just, you know, just keep pushing through it. And I really hope that makes sense. I know it might not be the answer you want to hear, it's not, but the thing with mental health is there is mental health issue, there is no, it's like learning guitar, there is no quick and easy way to get through it, to get to where you want to be. It's a long, hard slog that takes years. and years and years and years and years and years and hours and minutes and seconds of your life to get right or to learn to kind of understand. You know, it's like anything, anything like that takes a long time. So just stick with it, then just keep playing and play through it. You know, forget what your brain's telling you. You're not rubbish. You know, just keep playing. Just enjoy it and just play what you want to play. And just try and get what's in here out and forget what this says. That is not going to do you any favours whatsoever. This is the problem. The rest of you isn't. You know, this is telling you bad things that aren't true. So, so I hope this has answered your question. And I know it's difficult. I really do. I mean, I know exactly how you feel. I've been there. I still get there now. I'm a tiny bit there today. I was there a lot a couple of weeks ago. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I had this really bad period where I just felt absolutely worthless. And it is horrendous and it is not fun. But you just stay with it. Just keep playing. Just keep playing. It is the key out, I promise. So don't judge yourself too harshly. Don't let it rule you. Don't let it rule you. Don't let it dictate what you can and cannot do. You're in control. It's not. You know, so don't let anybody say otherwise. Don't let anybody tell you you're rubbish, because you're not rubbish. Okay, so I really hope that's answered your question. Let me know how you get on. More to the point. You know, keep me updated, and you know, if you need any more help, let me know. And so I'm going to move on to question 7 now. I really hope that's a question, and keep playing. Please keep playing. It will help you out. Okay, so moving on to question 7 now. Final question today. Okay, so let's end on this question. What is your opinion, Dave, on the John Mayer PRS Silver Sky? Hot topic, everybody. Initially, when I first saw it, I was like, John, is this a big middle finger to Fender? And it still feels like that to me. It still feels like he's basically saying, like, he fell out with Fender. We don't know why. We never will. But he fell out with Fender, and I feel like he went to PRS and made them make this guitar, the Silver Sky, just to go, like, you know, to Fender. I feel like it's just that. I really do feel like it's a big FU to Fender. Not that Fender should care, but it does seem a bit. When I first saw it, I was a bit like, I don't know about this one, John. Because when I first watched it, when I first saw it, I thought, well, I bet there's some kind of like weird wiring. I bet the pickups are hum cancelling, or the humbuckers are even coil tap, or whatever. And I'm sure the neck's like a PRS special neck, and you know, I'm sure one of the dials does something different. And when I found it was just like a 5-way selector, 2 tones, volume, 3 single coils, steel block tremolo Strat copy, which is, you know, I'm sorry, but that's exactly, you know, that's my opinion. It is what it is. It's a copy of the Strat. You know, I was a bit like, there's a lot of room for innovation there, but this is my initial thought. But I was like, he hasn't took it. You know, why didn't he have 3 single coils in like one of those awesome kind of like flame maple, like a Pensa, like Mark Knopfler's guitar? Have, like, you know, have something like that, or something like that, or something else totally different. Like, well, maybe just kind of like having different odd pickups, or what, I don't know. But it did confuse me originally. But then I was on Facebook the other night, and Lee Anderton of Andertons, he shared a video with John Mayer talking about the Silver Sky, and John Mayer kind of basically, like, in this 40-minute video, where it looks like he's just in a studio and he's just playing, he's got a red one, explains about, you know, what they went through to design it and all this and the other, and all of a sudden it just made sense. I mean, some of it was a bit ridiculous, like him saying, like, you know, when they did the cutout here, they had to make the scratch plate differently so it fit, because it looks weird and this, that and the other, and I thought that was kind of like, you know, that's just aesthetics, John, you're just making excuses, you know. Not excuses, but you know what I mean, it's just kind of like, you know, you're just kind of like going, well, we had to get the shape of the scratch plate right, otherwise it would look wrong. Well, yeah, I get that, but that's small potatoes compared to the bigger question at hand here, which is, why did you leave Fender to go to PRS to have them make you a Strat? You know, it's a little bit weird, but I haven't got a problem with the guitar. I'm not going to buy one. I don't have any problem with people buying them. I just see it, to me, it just feels like John Mayer is sticking his fingers up at Fender and going, see, I can make your guitar better than you can with this company. I don't know. I don't know if John Mayer's that petty. I don't know the man, so I don't know. But it does feel like, a bit like that to me. It's like, you know, it's like Slash going to Tokai and using their Les Paul instead of Gibson. It feels like it's almost like a big, like, you know, screw you hippie, kind of like stupid fingers up to, like, you know, a different company kind of thing. And whether it is that or whether it isn't that, I don't honestly know. I know Fender and John Mayer parted on very, very nasty kind of circumstances. In this video, he still talks about Fender quite nicely. He talks about how it, like, the Silver Sky is designed to use for a Fender amp. Although I'm sure it works great for any amp, I think that's a bit of a weird statement, that when he said, like, you know, oh, the Silver Sky is designed to be used for a Fender. But it's a bit like, I'm sure you can use it for any other amp, John, and it'll sound great regardless. You know, but my opinion on the guitar is, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, there's a million, trillion, zillion copies of the Stratocaster out there made by un-Fender brands. You know, I say the Pensers, there's Sir, there's Tokai, Charvel, I mean Charvel 4 under Fender obviously, but there's Vintage, there's Revelation, there's so many brands that use the Stratocaster shape, and PRS are just, you know, PRS have always had the double cut, but now they have got the Strat copy, which is cool. You know, I don't have a problem with it, I just didn't understand it. But that video of John Mayer explaining it, a 40-minute video of John Mayer explaining it, was very kind of cool. He does split hairs a bit in there, a bit like, you know, come on, John, you're making excuses. You know, you're talking for the sake of talking, a bit like me. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's wrong for people to buy them. I don't think it's, but I don't think it's wrong to kind of lay into it either. You know. You know, I know a lot of people have been up in arms and people saying, oh, leave him alone and this, that and the other. It's like, well, no, at the end of the day, people are entitled to their own opinion. If they don't like it and they see it for what it is, which is just a Strat rip-off with nothing really new designed on it. You know, it's still 2 tones of volume, a 5-way selector and 3 single coil pickups in this shape. At the end of the day, just because it's got a PRS headstock doesn't make that any less of what it is. You know, people are more entitled to just lay into it. You know, you can't do anything about it. I remember when the Joe Bonamassa bought his Gold Top out with the black hardware, people laid into that and said didn't like the black parts and just didn't like the way it is. But at the end of the day, it's John Mayer's guitar. It's designed for John. It does what he wants it to do. It sounds the way he wants it to be. It's built with a company he wants to build it with, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. You know, and I'm sure he doesn't really, you know, I'm sure he's not paying much attention to kind of what's going on and what people think to his guitar. So yeah, so be that what it will. I mean, I personally don't particularly, there's some things about the guitar I just don't like. I don't like that weird cutout on the bottom. He says, oh, it gives it better access to the frets. It's like, well, the Strats always had great access. You know, that's the point of the double cut instead of like the Telecaster where it's blocked up to like the 15th fret. You know, the Strats always had really good access to the last couple of frets. Unless you're Jimi Hendrix and he's upside down, then you kind of struggle. But Jimmy could still get there because he had ridiculously long fingers. But maybe not that long. But yeah, I mean, the Silver Sky is what it is. It's John Mayer's guitar. You know, it's much in the way of anything else. It's made for him. You know, and it's made to his specs. But I do feel that there's a slight undercurrent of F you Fender, look what I've got. Whether it is that or not, I don't know. Like I say, I don't know John Mayer, so it just feels that way to me. But like I say, I don't want to say it is or it isn't, because that's not my right to say 100% whether it is that. It's just an opinion. And like I say, I ain't got a problem with people laying into it. I ain't got people who defend. I ain't a problem with people who defend it. I ain't got problem with people buying it or whatnot. I just know for a fact if somebody came along with that guitar and said, if you give us this guitar, you can have a Silver Sky. I'd be like, nah, got one. It's just another Strat. Yeah, it might feel great and it might sound great, but I'm sure. There's a Fender out there that sounds that good, or a Squire, or whatever. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's a Strat copy, and there's a trillion of them out there. And not necessarily under the Fender logo, but yeah, I won't be trading any of my guitars in for it, definitely, that's for sure. But everybody, let's open the can of worms here. What are your opinions on the John Mayer Silver Sky? Leave a comment below, let me know what you think, because let's face it, it's not redesigning the wheel here, we just kind of smoothened it off a bit, but Leo got it right in 53, 54. And everyone's still playing catch up, basically. So yeah, let me know what you think of the Silver Sky, because like I said, I still don't know how to take the Silver Sky. It's a cool guitar, but it's because I'm a Strat fanatic. I'm gonna like it. But I do find it's a bit strange. And everyone who's seen it, and everyone I've shown it to, and everyone who spoke to me about it goes, I don't understand. And I'm with you on that one. I don't understand either. Like I said, I just feel like John Mayer is maybe playing a bit of a game here, and whether he is or not, I don't know. Whether he's that petty, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the man, but time will tell. Time will tell. But yeah, just let me know what you think of the Silver Sky. I really hope I've answered everybody's questions okay today. Yeah, and I will see you again on Friday for another video. I'm going to be demoing the secretive amp. Which is just set down there, which you still can't see. I might not demo it at all, ever, and you might be left in the dark. No, I'm not evil. But no, you'll see that on Friday, and yeah. Have a great morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody, and goodbye now.